Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So a few days ago I mentioned in the typing subreddit community that I was looking for a good typing challenge, and that whoever's idea got the most upvotes, I would take on the challenge that they suggested. Well, the winner of that comment thread was none other than Reddit user Caution Dry Paint. So big shout out to them for making their awesome challenge suggestion, and more importantly for being active in terms of providing great suggestions and feedback in the typing community. Anyways, as you can tell from their comment, in this video I challenged myself to get 3 successful Thicc quote tests on the Monkeytype platform with the master difficulty level enabled. So if what I just said doesn't make any sense at all, just think about it this way. Each Thicc quote test is a huge quote that contains more than 100 words and can sometimes be in the 200 words range. The master difficulty level puts a requirement on top of that such that for an individual test to be successful, not a single character can be typed incorrectly. That is, the second you type one character incorrectly, the test clears and you essentially failed that test. Now, as someone who types close to the 100 words per minute range, I wanted to make this test difficult on myself by not only trying to get 3 successful tests, but also adding another requirement that they all have to be 90 words per minute or faster. And I added this requirement because it's rather easy to say drop my speed to something like 60 words per minute and get 3 successful tests real quick. And just for reference sake, it took me a whole hour to get these 3 successful attempts. There's a lot of times where I literally slammed my hands on the desk in pure frustration because I'd get so close to the end of a quote only to make a trivial mistake and fail that test. I literally got my first 2 successful attempts in less than 10 minutes, but then spent like 50 minutes or so to get my third. And with each run, not only were my stress levels rising, but my hands were also getting sore from the back-to-back tests. Also, in case anyone's new here and is wondering what I'm working with, I am using my MacBook Pro's keyboard, which is janky to say the least, but I guess it worked good enough for this challenge. Anyways, I honestly found a lot of these quotes quite interesting. I'm not sure if they're all real, legit quotes, but a good amount of them seemed realistic enough to me, and the deep ones were quite deep. I think my favorite quote was the one that kept repeating that we as humans should be like the moon. So with each repetition of that statement, the quote would list a characteristic of the moon that was so deep and mentally stimulating. And I honestly kept thinking about it throughout the training process just so I don't forget to tell you guys about it. There's also another quote about not quitting before even starting something new, and that honestly pushed me to completing this challenge despite how difficult it felt to get my 3rd successful run. Overall though, a lot of the quotes were pretty nice to read. At the very least, they were a lot more interesting to read than the boring practice text keybr gives. It's like not only are you practicing your typing skills, but you're also getting put in your feelings for some of them, especially the ones that offer a lot of wisdom and life lessons. That said, definitely let me know which quote from this video is your favorite one down below in the comment section. Now, going back to the topic of this challenge, it was honestly super difficult. I was sweating while doing it, and the room temperature being hot, it literally made things much worse. And I hate to make excuses for myself, but the key for the letter I on my laptop keyboard is messed up, and I feel like it messed up a lot of runs for me. So when I'd press the letter I, sometimes it presses it twice, and just getting one letter wrong on the test pretty much fails the test for you. So you can imagine how many runs that failed because of that. Anyways, I feel like the best strategy for these type of tests is to stay as calm as possible. But the reality of the situation, for me at least, for this challenge, is that I was experiencing 2 different feelings. The first feeling was that I had to maintain a high speed. So my current average speed is in the 90 to low 100 range. And if my goal was to get 3 successful runs that are above 90 words per minute, then I had to type close to my peak speed. And this pretty much added stress to the game for me and made me more anxious throughout. But looking back at it, it honestly feels good that I challenged myself and put myself outside my comfort zone. And then the second feeling was worried that I'd get when I'd get close to the end of a given quote. So as I drew closer to the end of a quote, I'd get worried that I would fail that quote. And because the quotes are super duper long, I'd go like around 3/4 of the quote, which is like, if you're doing 200, that's already 150 words out of 200. And then right when I'd get to the end, it's like my brain just spends so much energy thinking of things like, oh, please don't make an error now, you made it this far, or it would be super sad if you failed after making it this far. And honestly, these thoughts alone are enough of a distraction that can cause me to make a typing error, thereby nullifying the whole test for me. But overall though, it was a great challenge to take on, and it was definitely a great touch typing practice session. It sure did drive me nuts and made me sweat over the course of an hour, but it was definitely worth my time. I also think the setup I used for this video, that is the Thicc quotes on master level, I think that's a great way to improve accuracy, especially if you force yourself to take a speed cut for a while and then slowly level back up. So like if you're typing 70 words per minute on average, you can ramp that down back to like 50 words per minute and focus more on accuracy and kind of nailing these tests. Anyways, that wraps it up for this video. If you like this content and find it useful and or entertaining, please don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you want to be notified of future content, please hit the notification bell, as that will tell you exactly when I make any upload. And that said, I'll see you guys in the next video, and until next time, take care.